Mr. Executive, Rod Serling is here. He's hiding behind a newspaper with 2 eye holes cut out of it and says it's urgent.
Oh, of course it is. Just send him in.
Mr. Executive...
Look, Rod, I'm really not looking to deal with any nonsense today, so just leave the next episode script on my desk and we'll do this some other time. What's the title of the episode, anyway?
I killed an astronaut.
Great title, I love it. Really grabs the attention. Can't wait. Thanks again, Rod. See you next week.
No, I mean I really killed an astronaut.
Rod, you did not kill an astronaut.
Not an actual astronaut, of course, but he was in full astronaut costume on set.
On set? Rod, please don't tell me you killed one of the actors.
Okay, I killed an astronaut.
Ugh. Rod, please, just tell me what happened.
Consider, if you will, a genius writer going for a stroll through the shadows of a Hollywood backlot, stepping not just through sets, but through time. A journey that would bring the brilliant creative mind straight into the heart of the Wild West.
Wild West? Rod, you said it was an astronaut. Oh, I get it. So the astronaut's rocket travels through time and lands in the Wild West? I like it.
An astronaut traveling through time. Yes, that is a great idea. That I had, but not for this episode, no. I was simply visiting a neighboring set and learned the harsh truth that gravity is a fickle mistress. Now a brave astronaut lie dead, all because I shot an arrow into the air.
They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? The only podcast filled with pointless betrayal and a lack of fundamental skills, forcing you to ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I'm Time Commander on most social media. We are joined by Huge.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. We are also joined by J Delta Wagwan.
Wagwan, and you can follow me at DJ Delta on Twitter.
Okay. Apparently you got something to say.
Yeah, I plug that every chance I get.
So we watched episode 15 from season 1. I shot an arrow into the air, where after a rocket crashes on an unknown world, the surviving crew struggle to maintain order while trying to survive with limited water and supplies.
Water and supplies.
Supplies. You gotta sting it at the end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but your daughter was hit by a truck. You don't gotta do it for everything, but you know. That was a bad example. That's why I was lost in translation. The French!
They're gone!
God, they don't care no more!
The French have
They
disappeared.
don't care!
They canceled this shit the first chance they got.
Je shot the arrow into la bomb.
Je suis arrow.
Nah, I'm just kidding. So bad translators said that this could be called I an arrow in the air. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Myself shoot an arrow, thee into air.
That's the fancy, like the elaborate.
Myself shoot an arrow, thee into thine air.
Oof, that's like Shakespeare.
Ooh. What is this? In the picture, the arrow goes in the air. Like a photograph or like a painting or...
Well, it's like instead of reading the poem, in the picture on the TV, I'm reading the poem.
You're reading it. You're going to read the
We're
picture.
back to this old thing. Here it is. Starting off hot.
Yeah.
Well, we told them to tune in
Yeah, we
for hot
did.
debate.
Oh, shit.
Whew. But
Starting to
luckily,
sweat.
it's not time for hot debate.
Oh,
Tune
thank
in
God.
to that written podcast.
Make sure you listen
Yes.
to that formal document that we will
Yeah.
send out. No, but it's not time for hot debate. It's time for the truth.
Truth, yeah, to the truth, to the child.
Chipacha.
Truth, the truth, the truth, the truth, the truth.
Truth, truth.
Truth, the truth, the truth, the truth, the truth.
Truth, truth.
Truth, the truth, the truth, the truth, the truth.
Truth, truth.
Truth, the truth, the truth, the truth, the truth.
When the truth is truth, and not truth. And the truth is truth, oh, the truth.
It's a circle of truth.
The truth, the truth, the truth, the truth.
And the truth
The truth,
is
the truth, the truth, the
all.
truth. Truth, the truth, the truth,
The
the
truth is the
Truth, the truth, the truth.
truth. In the truth, the circle of truth. Yeah. Churaka.
Get out a little,
Just
little
stick it at
sting.
the end. Alright, so this was aired January 15th, 1960. We have January 9th, construction began on the Aswan Dam, or excuse me, the Aswan High Dam for the Nile River in Egypt. There's a dam? Somebody dammed up the Nile River?
They double dammed it because there was the low dam and then the high dam.
What? That explains why it's so dry there.
Yep, that's now we know how the desert happened.
Yep.
They dammed up the Nile River.
And that's the truth. Oh, that point. They could just... They just got rid of all those dams.
Just undam it. Yo, please. You know how many people are dying of thirst?
That godforsaken beaver warlord damming up all of Africa. He's damming up all the Africans. Goddamn beavers.
Yeah.
All right, so the 12th, January 12th, Oliver Platt was born.
Yeah.
He was in things like Lake Placid,
Wait
Three
a minute.
Musketeers.
Wait a minute. No. We're not getting past this at all.
Oh, no, yeah.
We went from Beaver Warlord
Yeah. The legendary actor Oliver
to
Platt.
Oliver Platt.
Yes.
Who you
Star of-
own? Oh, I know what you're going to do. Just say it.
What?
Just say it, Jimmy King.
Star of,
Just say it.
I was going to say star of great films like Lake Placid and Three Musketeers and Ready to Rumble,
Yes.
which happened to be the 24th episode that we've done. So check that out if you're into any of the things we just said.
I won't.
That's the truth. Also, the 12th, the same day, a lot of stuff happened that day. Man was already born. There's room for more things.
Yo. It's crazy. Turns out 2 things can happen in a day.
That's a lot of things. I guess that's why it's the 12th, because there's 2 digits. 2 things.
That makes sense.
The Scent of Mystery, presented by Mike Todd Jr. I don't trust him. In Smell-O-Vision, made its debut in the Chicago Cinestage Theater with a system that provided, then cleared. Oh, they got it cleared.
Yo.
Different aromas consistent with the scenes on film.
Yo, this is like the third Smell-O-Vision type
I know,
news
right?
thing.
Isn't it?
From-
It's like going around the world real slow. It's like it's a waft.
It's literally either Smell-O-Vision or Lee Harvey Oswald for anything that's going on.
Yo, but it's
Yeah, but
last-
which one killed JFK?
Yeah.
That's all I want to know. I've been asking this for years.
For years.
Was it Lee Harvey Oswald or did Smell-O-Vision assassinate the
I don't know.
president?
He was breathing deep on that day. It's hard to tell.
You ever like just take a real deep breath and the back of your head just blows out?
Wow! Ooh. You ever take a breath so deep that your head suddenly jerks to the back and then again to the left? That's weird. Oh, that's the exhale. Ha! It's to the left. Inhale. Oh, it goes back. Exhale. Ah, to the left. So on the 13th, the first discussions were held in the White House to discuss covert actions to overthrow Cuban dictator Fidel Castro. So to clarify, discussions were held about discussions.
Hey, Gary, you think maybe we should talk about overthrowing that Castro guy?
We should, but we should schedule when we're going to talk about that. Should we, though?
We'll figure it out later.
But we should maybe figure it out now. I don't know. Let's argue about this some more.
Hot debate.
Hot debate! There it is, folks!
Hot debate which made its debut January 13th, 1960.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Tune in for another in the longest episodic series in entertainment history.
Been going since the 60s. Strong. Going strong since the
60
60s.
years. Fucking.
Is that true? Is that how that
It's true.
Well, he said it.
No.
So whether your math gets it there or not, that's what it is.
It's non-Euclidean, from what I understand.
Non-includian. It does not include you. Or your math.
Non-Nickelodeon.
Finally, January 15th, the day this aired, the Soviet Union approves plans to reduce its armed forces by approximately a third.
This is true. This was the SALT Accords, which then in the 90s you had the START Accords. And then now, just recently, they've been completely abolished.
So there's no more salt in
Yeah,
the
you
world.
had the Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty, which was great. And it was reducing on the IRBMs, and then later, after the Cold War, when they had the START, which is the Strategic Tactical Arms Reduction Treaty, this is 100% accurate, and it was reducing of the ICBMs, which is the Intercontinental Ballistic Missiles. But then our government just recently was like, no, we like nuclear weapons, and we're just going to fucking increase that shit.
So is salt good for you or bad for you?
You have to up your saltpeter dosage, but in high amounts it can be very bad. It's true.
You don't want a lot of Peter.
Yeah.
You want a little
No.
bit.
Heavy on the salt, light on the Peter.
Let that be the thing that we take.
Yeah, okay. Little Peter.
Yeah.
A lot of salt.
Little Peter goes a long way.
Yeah, well, look, you do what you can with what God gave you. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
the motion in the Peter.
God
Yeah.
gave me salt. Just a pillar of salt.
Yeah, and I just salt the earth. Everywhere I go, nothing can grow behind me.
So, of course, I like it that way.
Guy. Isn't it great just leaving a barren wasteland behind you?
Speaking of
Take
barren-
that, future generations.
Take it! Take it all. Let's talk about the past generations, though, because in your last earthly incarnation, you were a female born somewhere in the territory of Saudi Arabia in approximately 1725, and you were a professional digger or undertaker. You were digging your own grave.
Is it easier to dig sand than it is dirt?
I
I feel like from a mental standpoint, like psychologically, it's harder because
It's easier, but it's hotter out, so you have to take more breaks.
So it just gets like snow sand. You guys don't have snow sand?
No sand.
I'm just saying, like, when you're digging sand and you dig about 10 feet down in sand,
Oh, but sand just falls in
it
on
just
itself.
falls in and it still looks the same. Dirt, like, you see the difference right away, and there's, like, different kinds. It's like, oh, this dirt over here was, like, a lighter brown, and this is, like, a darker. And then I see these roots. I didn't see them before. I know I'm making headway here.
What is going on at your beach?
Yeah, I...
Wait, well, no, I'm just saying sand and just digging. I'm just talking about digging.
Yeah, no...
You're just talking about digging, baby. Digging!
I don't see the color of sand like that. I don't, and roots, I'm a big fan, so, like, that's just my...
Which is a perfect time to point out why his entire civilization collapsed. Because he did not look at any of the silt deposits or what the groundwater was like or any
Never
of that.
studied it.
He did not know any of it, no.
Also, I use salt instead of water.
That'll do it.
Well, also, in your brief psychological profile of past life, you were a revolutionary type, which is probably why you used water instead of salt or whatever it was.
I use salt.
Or whatever you said a second ago.
Whatever it was.
Whatever you said.
You know what? I'm gonna change things up. Instead of using this silly water stuff, I'll try salt. That'll really help the plants.
So you were a revolutionary type. You inspired change in any sphere, including politics, business, religion, or housekeeping.
Or the movie
Or,
sphere.
or housekeeping.
Because you were a woman, so
in Saudi Arabia.
you could be a leader,
in
yes.
1725.
And a lesson you brought from your past life was you should believe in high reason. Your lucky number is 5.
And go to secondfortune.com for the rest.
There's more numbers. I'm only giving you 5. That's all you're getting, folks. Check them out somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the best hour.
The
Troy McClure hour. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such safety videos as Loose Clothes, Less Limbs, or Gone with the Wind, Your Hot Air Balloon Business and You. Today, I'm here to welcome you to your first day of astronaut training. So this episode was written by Rod Serling based off a story by Madeline Champion. Seems about right.
Yep.
Cool. Directed by Stuart Rosenberg, who directed Cool Hand Luke and Amityville Horror. The real ones, right? Not fake ones?
I hate those fake knockoff Cool Hand Lukes.
He didn't, we don't all know Cool Hand Luke, but he actually directed Cool Hand Luke, the 7th episode of, Mama Brown.
Oh, yes. These are the real films, allegedly.
Cool. Good for him, I guess. So Dewey Martin plays Corey. You remember him from things like Land of the Pharaohs, 1955, nope. The Thing from Another World, nope, 1951, nope.
Well, nobody remembers that because everyone remembers The Thing instead.
Yes. Or Daniel Boone in the 1960s, The Magical World of Disney. He died, pretty recently. I'll leave it at that.
Who knows when?
knows when?
Who's to say?
Do you care? Maybe do some work yourself. Edward Binns plays Colonel Bob Donlin. You remember him in 12 Angry Men, in North by Northwest, or in the 1964 film Failsafe.
Drop that bomb on Moscow.
Like right now? Let's go. Or...
Oh, no, he did that.
he already did it. Oh, good. I'll sit down then. He died in 1990. Ted Otis plays Dr. Ronnie Wood. There was a doctor in this film?
Again.
Did
So
you get that
happy that you said
backwards?
film.
Did Dr. Ronnie Wood play Ted Otis? No.
No, he played Pearson.
Yeah, there's no...
Oh, you gotta use it's your dyslexia. That's it. You just can't see those words.
Sure it is, yeah. So Ted Otis plays Pearson. You recognize him from 1959, The Best of Everything. The 1960 Ocean's 11, and most recently the 1962 Hands of a Stranger. You can see the full cast and crew at IMDb.com.
And the recent film from 1962.
Look, his career is his career. IMDb. Go there. Let's start the episode.
Film.
Okay. Her name is Arrow 1. She represents 4.5 years of planning, preparation, and training, and 1,000 years of science, mathematics, and projected dreams and hopes of not only a nation, but a world. That was a long sentence. She is the first manned aircraft into space, and this is the countdown. The last 5 seconds before man shot an arrow into the air.
Right off the bat, I'm furious.
Yeah?
I'm furious for 2 reasons.
All right.
One is when I was about to watch this, I was like, oh, and I think I had mentioned this on the last pod, was, there's 2 or 3 episodes of the show where it's 3 astronauts, specifically 3.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be the one that I love. And it's not.
Never is.
And so I was like, damn it. I'm like, all right, that one comes later.
Oh, that's right. I hate them all.
That was the twist.
That's the twist. I'm a jerk. He got me again.
But the other thing that pissed me off was the fucking opening narration is identical to... Remember the one from that we liked a few episodes ago where it was her name, the X2, her size, blah, blah, blah.
The one with the 3 astronauts?
Yeah. And in the background of the opening shot, you see it shows the name of the ship, and it has a crate in front of it that just says Arrow, Arrow 1, and then it says the X2. And so I'm like,
yes.
They would have used, her name, the X2.
The X2, yeah.
Yeah.
Crap.
Shared universe.
During the opening narration, we see Mission Control prepare for a rocket launch. And then Mission Control lift off. I don't know if this was news to you guys, but according to this episode, if it is true at all, did you know that after a countdown, they keep going? Like it's 10,
Oh,
9,
yeah.
8,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
it goes up.
3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Why? Like,
What?
does somebody have to poke him with a stick to stop him? Like,
No, like, honestly, I think it's all for, like, science. Like, hey, okay, 10 seconds, they reach this altitude and blah, blah, blah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, science.
Science!
Get a hold of you. What? Another ego by science,
Yeah.
huh?
Holy shit. So we get it, science. Oh,
Ah.
my God.
There's numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's math. There's symbols that represent numbers.
Oh, my God. Science uses math? Oh.
Oh, now he's taking hostages. So yeah, lift off. Mission Control tracks the rocket as it heads into space, and the screen blacks out. When it comes back on, we see a chart of like the atmosphere or something.
I don't know what is a chart. Like, there's a circle in the middle, and then there's like a grid that expands from it. So,
I played that game on a Commodore 64.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Like somehow we've mapped space. I guess is that what the
yeah,
implication is?
All right, like, I don't know if they know this, but like, you don't just like go to. All right, we're gonna aim for like grid 17 of space. Like, stuff's moving.
Strange happenings in Grid 93. Better check them out. So, yeah, the spaceship is off its vector path, and it's gone off the radar screen, and it's totally disappeared through some sort of interference. Mission Control is like, well, can't believe what's happening. I'll look out the window and say this poem, and he says the poem, which is that one sentence
Yeah.
from earlier. It's not really a limerick or anything, or
I
a
listen,
nursery rhyme or whatever it is.
I read this poem by hearing this guy say it,
Yeah.
and I'm not a fan of poetry.
No, not at all.
Not a fan of reading. One more strike against reading.
Ooh, you better stand up for yourself, reading. Not looking good.
What's the count against reading?
Bing! 472.
All right, 472. I don't know if that's for or against, but sure wish I could read.
Count against reading.
You said it. So we go to an uncharted asteroid, apparently. Allegedly.
Here we are.
According to these astronauts. Colonel Donnelly is writing his captain's log. There was an explosion, an electrical system cut out, and then the colonel says out loud, That's all any of us remember. And then he continues to write.
Silent, yeah. He says that one part out loud. But I really gotta stop. You know, they're on the uncharted asteroid. Like, I hate, like, straight up hate this episode. What was did they know where they were going?
Yeah.
Like, did they look up into space before shooting a rocket?
Where did they shoot from? Like, what was the trajectory that they landed where they landed at the end? Like, were these astronauts trained at all? Do they understand? Was Mission Control trained at all?
No, nobody was trained at all.
Well, that explains it.
Wait, have you guys ever, like, done any how many planets are there? Before we go to space, where are we going, and how many planets are there up there?
Because there didn't seem to be a plan
Yeah. Well, no, you're gonna go to space.
to see how many planets are out there.
We gotta start figuring this shit out
Yeah.
for next time.
So we have telescopes? Yeah, but we're not calling anybody.
Yeah, like, I'm just saying, our science to this point has proven that the Earth is flat, and that we're covered by a dome that is just a projection radiating heavenly energies down upon us. And I'm saying, if you just shoot your rocket up through the dome into space, we'll really actually figure out how many planets and asteroids and whatnot are out there.
But you'll shatter the dome! And it will rain upon us!
It worked for Katniss in the Hunger Games.
I would say sacrifices must be made for science, but yes, Hunger Games is a much better argument.
Yes. That explains it so well. All right, so Pearson, Corey, Hudak, and Colonel Donling are the only survivors, and Hudak is hurt really badly. Most of the supplies and the radios were destroyed, and they have no idea where they are.
Must be another planet, or
Gotta
asteroid.
be.
I don't know.
I can breathe the air, nothing's radioactive. You know, like, I'm totally fine, there's no weird monsters anywhere. It's gotta be another planet.
There's no weird monsters. It's gotta be another planet.
Only Earth has weird monsters.
You see any big feet? No? All right. It's not Earth.
Good, it was safe then. Could have been stranded out here with big feet. Corey is on edge, because he doesn't know about the big feet. Corey is on edge, and the colonel tells him that they're going to operate totally by the book. And Pearson sticks with the colonel on this one. They talk about Corey while he overhears, and then argues about giving dying Huak... So dying... Sorry, that was the sound he made, because he was dying. Huak! They're trying to give Huak water, and Corey's like, no, it's not where I need the water. I need it. I want to live. And they're like, look, he's dying, but he's not dead.
No.
So...
What he said was, if he dies, he dies.
And then Corey was like, you're a sleeper agent! Ah! Yeah, because it's the fucking 60s.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and he was like, if he dies, he dies, but we're not killing him any faster. So give him water while he needs it. And everybody start digging graves.
Yo, I quit. Like, I'm gonna start my own astronaut corps on the other side of the edge. Yo, I did not crash land on an uncharted asteroid free of big feet to just dig graves.
That's not even... That wasn't even because of the dead bodies. That's just army training. Anywhere you go, set up shop and just start digging graves. Doesn't matter. Someone is gonna die eventually. That is the nature of this business. Just get it out of the way.
We know our mission was to land here to find a place to start hiding these bodies. So get to digging, man.
Pearson mentions how odd it is that the sun is the same size as it is on Earth. You know how often you stare up at the sun and compare its size to things? So the asteroid that they're on must be in the same orbit as Earth.
Holy shit! God damn!
The air is
Fucking
perfect.
That man is a genius. It must be the same orbit.
It's actually like pretty much in the same position as it was a half an hour ago when we took off. Almost as if we're in the same exact spot, just like 20 miles west.
Well, look, who knows how long it was. My clock broke. We all blacked out. But again, do you see any big feet?
None.
I did not see any big feet, Colonel.
Oh, we are on an uncharted asteroid.
Ooh.
Mark the logs, dig the graves, get to work, men.
So Pearson mentions how odd it is. Oh, I said that already. That the sun.
It was so odd.
It's just so weird.
I'm just saying. This is really
sun.
weird.
This sun,
I can't get over
Captain.
this.
Sorry, yeah, but the captain mentions the air is perfect. There's no radiation, but there was only one ship, so they're gonna have to build another to come get us.
And it took years to build this one. So hunker down, men.
Yeah, it was right around here that it occurred to me. All right, so they're on an uncharted asteroid, sure, and they're gonna be there for 4.5 years at least, sure.
Did they say those numbers?
They said
Well, that's
it
how
took
long
4.5 years to build a ship, so it's going to take another 4.5 years for them to get to us.
Solid.
So this place is home now.
Yep.
But, so it's right around here that I realized, oh, that's right. They said that the only water that they have no food.
Mhm.
And the only water that they have is 5 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Including the canteens that they have.
Yeah.
Which is 3 canteens.
Sure.
So that's, 2 days at most worth of water? Right? There's like no water.
I don't know my water science.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I'm saying is they had freaking 2 bottles of water each, 2 Poland Spring bottles apiece.
Yeah.
That's gonna last them,
It's
and
not
it's
long,
in the desert.
Yeah.
My whole point is, what's the point of Corey's character of being like, oh, I gotta steal that guy's water. It's gonna keep me alive for 4 more hours. Like it's all at absolute worst position. There is no, like...
Yeah.
But-
his struggle for survival is in jest. Like, he's not...
It's a ridiculous concept to be like, let me kill these two guys so I can... Which are my only way, you know... it's like, all right.
I think I get it. They're all gonna die anyway, so what's the point of even trying? We should all just give up now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Think about that all
All
the
right.
time.
No, look, the key is you gotta outlast the other guy, right? People are 70% water. They're full of water!
Like, 100%, I don't know how gruesome they wanted to get with this, but he didn't make any indication that he was like, and then I'll eat them. Like, he was walking away from bodies with no food, going, oh well, I'll survive on just this water.
Yeah.
The dude was insane, like 100%. I don't even know why he was there.
Space madness.
But like,
It set in quick.
like the second he got into space, like it took off. He was like, ah!
There's no rhyme or reason to space madness when it strikes. Oh, brother.
So later on, after some exploring, Corey and Donnelly have returned and found nothing. I thought it was Pearson, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. The Colonel tries to give some water to the still dying Hudak, but him and Corey have a tussle over it. This is my water. You're not going to give it to some dying old dead guy. And they pretty much pour it all out fighting over it. And Pearson immediately is like, well, don't worry about it because he's dead now.
Literally, that drop of water would have kept him alive.
And Corey immediately takes the now dead Hudak's water can.
Yo.
He didn't even, and Pearson's like, I will stab you in the throat. He doesn't say that, but he's like, I will kill you.
Yeah, I will kill you.
I will kill you if you try to steal water. And he's like, you know what? Same to you, pal. I'm just like, I don't think you get what's happening
No,
here.
you can't say that because you were the one who was just stealing it. Whoa, but was I? Because
it's my water.
ain't stealing if it's already mine.
He's dead. It's not his anymore. Now I claimed it. It's mine. So Pearson threatens to go right. The Colonel steps in and says, come nightfall, they'll all try to explore and find something to help them survive because this is home now.
Again, we got fucking 4 days worth of water.
Yeah,
this is not gonna be. And how much did we sweat digging those graves?
Yeah. Gotta give these men a proper burial on a foreign asteroid. like in case their families come to visit the gravesite. What? What are you talking about?
Yo, families don't even visit the grave sites back on Earth. They're not gonna come all the way to fucking asteroid 17.
The old half penal colony, half cemetery. So it's nightfall, and the Colonel impatiently waits in camp until finally Corey shows up. He's alone and exhausted. Well, sort of exhausted. He didn't find anything and doesn't know what happened to Pearson. The Colonel notices that Corey came back with more water than he left. And the Colonel accuses Corey of killing Pearson. And Corey admits that he found him dead.
Am I the only one astounded that, like, Corey gets back and starts drinking the water by just dumping it all over wasting as much as possible?
This is another part where I'm like, why are you losing your shit over how much water you have when you're pouring it on your face every time you drink?
Oh my god, this is so good. Just
I wish I had more of it.
Yeah.
Like, 100%. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So we might as well just give up and die sooner.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy who it's you and a friend and him, and you're like, I think we might die. And he's like, shut up, I'll kill you! Like, you're like, well, you're not helping nothing. You're not doing anything right now. Except killing me.
Space madness!
So Corey's like, I found him dead. And the Colonel's like, then we're going to go find his dead body and you're going to show it to me. And he's got a gun in his face at this point.
Because what's the most important tool in an astronaut's kit?
A submachine gun.
Submachine gun.
Yo.
Hell yeah. Yo, we don't know if them asteroids got big feet. They might.
It's because it's always the same thing in these types of things where it's like, all right, we have this space program. We're going to send men to outer space and they're going to find an asteroid we've never seen before. Who do we send? Infantrymen. Yeah. Basic infantrymen.
Just goons in jumpsuits.
Well, not hired goons because they're way too superstitious for space.
Bringing it back.
Woo! So later on, / the next day, you know how that works. Time makes fools of us all.
Yes, you do.
The colonel is following Corey on it's like a 2-minute trek in real time.
Mm.
And they arrive where Corey found Pearson's body, but it must have gotten up and crawled away. What do you mean crawled away? Did you even check if he was alive? What'd you do, you bum?
Oh.
Well, he was lying there. I just figured, well, he's dead.
Yeah, why would he be laying there if he wasn't dead?
Right? He was like, I'm dying. And I was like, well, why wait? You're dead. And I took his water and...
I'm dying. That sounds like something a dead man would say.
Yeah.
He said, help me, which is classic corpse talk.
Yes. Oh, I'm not falling for that corpse trap.
Classic corpse jargon.
You know when like someone dies and like as the gas escapes their body, help me!
I'm dead. I'm dying. Well, I mean that's the telltale sign that someone's already dead. I'm dying. They search around and they find Pearson's body. Well, Pearson, barely alive, not his body. The colonel throws the gun on the ground and holds Pearson. Pearson motions to the mountains and tries to speak, but he can't. And he draws this weird equal sign with a long line through it. And then he dies.
He held out just long enough to draw some meaningless scribble.
Well, there's two things that happen here that I wrote down that I remembered. One was a little earlier when it's the long march of him like with the gun to Corey as they're like looking for Pearson's body. And at one point, again, just something that happens and they're calling your attention to it, then nothing happens unless I'm crazy. He's going to tie his shoe.
Right.
And then he sees like a rock and he's like, as I was like, okay, he's going to take the rock and he's
mash him in the
with
skull.
It, or maybe he's going to use it for later or something. And he just gets up and he just starts walking.
Yeah.
And then the colonel looks down and he's like, oh, he's he grabbed a rock or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to come up.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And then the best part of the entire episode is when it turns into a scene from Lassie, when he's trying to get the last words out of Pearson.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just like, what? What's that? What? Trouble at the old mill? What? Equal sign, hashtag.
Oh, boy. I love the Da Vinci Code.
Blah.
Yeah. The colonel tries to figure out what the message means, and he starts to head up the mountain. But Corey grabs the gun that the colonel left, and grabs it and shoots him. Bullet goes right through the colonel's canteen when he does that, and kills him.
I don't know if Rod Serling doesn't understand foreshadowing or likes setting stuff up to then immediately go, nah, that was for nothing.
Never mind, yeah.
Because, maybe he wants to subvert expectation. I don't know, but he gets shot. Oh, it's in the canteen.
Yeah.
And then they do the slow, turnover.
Oh, no.
And,
I shot him through the canteen.
Yeah, and oh no, the canteen stopped the bullet. So here's where he goes to turn the colonel over, and blam! No, colonel's just dead.
Yeah, because the colonel still should have had the handgun that he took away from him earlier.
He did, and then Corey turns him over and goes, "Oh, there's my gun." I was like, "Oh, here comes the part where
nothing happens.
Nothing happens."
You and your high hopes.
Here comes the part where I'm the fool.
Oh, that's always.
Oh, that's the whole thing because I watched it.
Always.
Because I watched it. The colonel's dead. Corey climbs up the mountain, and we got a narration. Fucking narration. Holy shit. Now make tracks, Mr. Corey. You move out and up, like some kind of ghostly billy club. Like some kind of ghostly billy club was tapping at your ankles and telling you that it was later than you think. You scramble up the rock hills. Your feet hot. You feel hot sand underneath your feet, and every now and then you look over your shoulder at the giant sun suspended in the dead, motionless sky like an unblinking eye that probes at the back of your head in a prolonged accusation. Mr. Corey, last remaining member of a doomed crew, keep moving. Make tracks, Mr. Corey. Push up and push out, because if you stop, maybe sanity will get you by the throat. Maybe realization will pry open your mind, and the horror you left down in the sand will seep in. Yeah, Mr. Corey. Yeah. You better keep moving. That's the order of the moment. Keep moving.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because this fucking perplexed me.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of Rod Serling. We've seen, and you know, JD, you and I have watched like every episode of this. Can you remember another time where he was like? It seemed like he was legitimately pissed off. Like this is something that happened. Yeah, something had to have happened because he was in the military. He was in the army for 3 years, which is why a lot of this stuff. He won the Purple Heart in World War II.
That's not a...
He won the Purple Heart.
Okay.
In World War II,
he won the Bronze
Star.
Show up,
didn't you?
He won the Bronze Star. All right. He won the Purple Heart.
Alright, first of all, I'll appreciate the Bronze Star, but like winning a Purple Heart is getting hurt. I could do that right now.
Didn't guys who shot their foot to get out of the war get a Purple Heart?
As long as you didn't admit you shot your own foot.
So my unanswerable question was pretty much like, what the hell happened to him? Like, who pissed him off during the war that I guess was the inspiration for this character?
Well, no one, because someone else wrote the story.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like something had to have happened. Like he was fucking like pissed off. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Was there like a Sergeant Corey?
There was something, and so I was like, I need to read into his.
Oh my god!
So I read into his military background.
Oh god.
Yesterday.
Sure.
First I went on Wikipedia, of course. Then I saw there was links to military.com, who was like, oh, famous, you know, celebrities who served. And there's a whole thing on it. So I took a picture of just the one part that was all that mattered. He only was in for 3 years.
Yep.
He was in the he was a paratrooper, and he served during the occupation of Japan.
So he didn't fight nobody.
So he fought Japanese. He didn't fight any Germans, and he was upset because he wanted to fight the Germans. He wanted to kill Hitler. He was quoted as saying that was the whole reason why he signed up for the war, so he could kill Hitler.
So he could kill
personally.
The ego of Rod Serling.
Holy shit!
He thought he was.
Yo.
I'll never respect a troop again.
So here's what I have. I just took it's one paragraph, but it's all that matters to me. For a variety of reasons, Serling was transferred to the 511th Unit platoon, which was nicknamed the Death Squad for its high casualty rate. He was shipped off purposefully to this unit
to die.
It was, according to his ex-sergeant, the leader of that squad, he screwed up somewhere along the line. Apparently he got on everyone's nerves, and so that's why he was transferred to this unit where almost everyone was transferred there so they would die.
Yo, he was Corey!
That was it.
It's true, yeah.
He's mad at himself for not killing Hitler and getting punished.
Let me see. He also judged Serling was not suited to be a field soldier. Quote, he didn't have the wits or aggressiveness required for combat. At one point, Serling and others were in a firefight, trapped in a foxhole. As they waited for darkness, his ex-sergeant Lewis noticed that Serling had not reloaded any of his weapons, and that he sometimes, quote, sometimes Serling would explore on his own against orders and got lost.
Yo.
You mean like in his stories? Yo.
Well, we noticed, Private Serling, he would not reload his gun and instead stand at the edge of the foxhole going, take that, Hitler. Like, goddamn. Holy shit.
Purple Heart, Bronze Star award winning.
Wait, someone has to recommend you for the Bronze Star.
The president! I'm pretty sure.
No.
What, like post-career, like...
Oh, wait, that's Medal of Honor is the president. Purple Heart is just like the generals.
I recommend Rod Serling for the Bronze Star, or all those great stories he produced on television.
He got the Bronze Star for Twilight Zone.
Fucking Rod Serling, Purple Heart winner. I was like, what? Bronze Star winner. I was like, what? Rod Serling, who won the fucking Pulitzer Prize. I was like, what? I was like, what? Who wrote Planet of the Apes? I'm like, what?
Nobel Prize winner.
I just think there was less people back then, that's all.
There were 7 humans.
Yeah.
So he had to win all
They
the
just
awards.
running around. The jobs are bound to overlap.
Well, look, I mean, we made all these medals. We gotta give them out.
He wrote an Oscar award-winning movie. Can you name it? It's from the 50s. It kind of got twisted and sort of remade, and it became Raging Bull.
Angry Cow.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm like, fucking, I'm looking at all his shit. I was like... Rod fucking Serling.
Yeah, that's...
Award winner.
All right. Well, we're not done with the episode yet, by the way. That was not the closing narration. That was just a narration.
That's true. That was the middle
That was
narration.
yeah, well, yeah, it was sort of.
So you move on, Mr. Corey. You go find Hitler and you kill him with your bare hands, Mr. Corey.
Like I
you
should
don't
have.
reload your gun, Mr. Corey.
All right, so Corey finally sees what Pearson was trying to draw, and he starts cackling. There was telephone poles. That's what you were trying to draw. They never left Earth. They just crashed back into it. Like the fakest laugh in the world. Oh, what have I done? Practical joke perpetrated by Mother Nature in a combination of improbable events. Practical joke wearing the trappings of a nightmare, of terror, of desperation. Small human drama played out by a desert 97 miles from Reno, Nevada, USA. Continent of North America, the Earth, and of course, the Twilight Zone.
Is this the worst episode yet?
I think so.
I think it is.
Wait, what? I'm just trying to read this. What? So, Reno, Nevada, USA, continent of North America, Earth. So it's also Reno, Nevada is a continent of Earth.
Well, no.
And
Continent of North America
Yeah.
Comma.
on the Earth
Oh.
in the Twilight Zone.
No, but it doesn't say. It's just, and of course, the Twilight Zone. So to me, that reads that Reno is a continent both in North America, the Earth, and the Twilight Zone.
If only there was some sort of high temperature discussion that could take place.
Hot debate!
Is Reno, Nevada a continent?
Just talk amongst yourselves.
Yo, that's like a perfect Ventura show. Hot debate, folks! Is Reno, Nevada a continent of America or the world?
Put on your towel, step into the sauna, and get ready for a hot debate.
That's why he sees all the puppets. He doesn't leave.
It's just a heat stroke.
That makes so much more sense in the bunker, I gotta tell you. And he can still be crazy because of the heat stroke.
Hope you're okay getting sweaty and wearing a towel.
Hope you're okay with looking at it. Like... But he's gonna be wearing funny t-shirts the whole time, so it doesn't matter. Don't drone me, bro. Are we done yet? Did that end?
That's the end of the episode.
Okay, Hollywood Thinking Cap. Could you?
No, I wouldn't.
In a boat?
I would never.
Yeah. Not even with a goat. I would not swim in a moat.
Or wear a coat.
Or wear a coat. I don't care how cold it is.
Yeah, at the very least, I would have given a much clearer reason for that guy's space madness. That's about all I got.
I understand the madness at the end when you realize
but
you're
in the
in Reno,
beginning.
Nevada. That's horrifying.
I get the whole but wouldn't it be crazy if they never left the planet?
Yeah.
But that requires the astronauts to have no understanding of the Earth, the solar system, the stars,
Nothing.
anything. It has to all be wrong. It took 3 days to send dudes to the moon. And these guys think we got knocked unconscious and we woke up, so we just must be, I don't know.
They're not even in a different country.
Yeah, holy shit.
They went from, what, this was Houston, Texas, or what, like Cape Canaveral, Florida, to Nevada.
Yeah.
And then they went crazy. Or the one guy, he went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called when you think you have a disease but you don't really have it?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Space Madness.
Well, yeah.
Space Madness, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm in space, so I must have space madness!
Are you upset at the whole, the spaceship is the arrow that got shot in the air and came back down?
No, that was super clear from the start.
No, I know. I'm saying the fact that that's where it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's on par with all of the rest of
It's
his
so
writing.
true.
It's
It's
just
on brand.
equally as trash, yeah.
But what bothers me more than anything is, like, Rod Serling's understanding of space is based on the Looney Tunes. Like, oh, well, you could just go to an asteroid and breathe air, and because, like, there's air on asteroids, right? Why wouldn't there? But
We're not that far removed, though, from, like, those, like, Ray Harryhausen, like, claymation things of space and of dinosaurs that look nothing like what reality is, because it's like, that's what people thought up until...
But people, they also knew, like, oh, there's no oxygen, like, you have to wear a helmet.
Dude, we were seeing explosions in movies with space up until, like, 2 years ago, even though, like, you can't actually have, like, fire because there's no oxygen.
Yeah. So go ahead, jump on that one. Nothing.
Hot debate.
Hot debate!
Hot debate, is there air in space?
Let's test this theory.
Yeah.
Let's drive this car into this chain link fence and get into the spaceship. Hit the button and test it out.
We'll go into space, and then when we breathe in and nothing happens, we'll go, oh, it's because the test was off. We didn't have the right equipment.
We didn't have the right... Oh, that's interesting.
All right, so why would you make this? Well, Rod Serling was approached by Madeline Champion, who pitched the story. What would happen if 3 guys landed on what they thought was an asteroid, but it turned out to be outside of Las Vegas? Serling said, great, here's $500. It's my story now.
Fucking walked up to him at a party and was like, whoa, what if? Like, the astronauts didn't... Like, they weren't even astronauts. They were just guys in a rocket ship and crashed and was like, well, I guess this is an asteroid.
And he handed her...
$500.
The equivalent of $4,000. Over $4,000.
Yo.
I don't know if you have it, like, in your notes there. Like, I read that I was with this episode, that he did an interview, I guess, during this episode or whatever. Making, where he said, for, like, the first batch of episodes, there were submissions from, like, writers everywhere, and it was 1,500 submissions for episodes. And that him and his, like, 2 or 3 on his writing staff for the show read, of those 1,500, 300, and 297 of the 300 that they read were terrible and horribly written, and 3 were the most amazing things ever, and then 2 of them they couldn't use, and 1 was this episode.
Yeah, I don't believe anything he says.
Yeah.
Nothing he says.
This is also the man who thought he would single-handedly kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler.
And would, instead of reloading his gun, go wander and chase butterflies in the field.
La, la, la.
I'm gonna get you, butterfly Hitler.
They say if you go back in time and step on a butterfly, it can change anything.
Take this, future Hitler.
Yeah. Now, why did you want to have him disbarred from the army? That's not how it is, but just disbarred from the army? He just keeps punching butterflies.
Disbarred. Excommunicated. What's the word?
What's that word?
Well, they call it being disbarred, but it's when they kick you out and just beat you with
With a bar.
Yeah.
What's that thing where you put the army guy on the ice float and kick it out into the sea? What is that? All right, so here's some tropes, some old tropesy tropes. Chronic backstabbing disorder, which you didn't write down what it is.
No, but that's...
It's pretty obvious, huh?
Yeah, it's self-explanatory. It's where you just constantly, like, gotta betray.
That was the problem. The guy had CBD. Cold equation, which is when he realizes that he didn't have to kill anybody.
Cold equation is like, well, to save me, I have to kill everyone else. Because
Oh, I see.
Needs of the few.
The needs of me
Outweigh the needs of
me
anyone else.
outweigh the needs of everyone else. Because I'm gonna stop Hitler.
Earth all along, which
Yeah.
Earth all along. Laughing mad. That was the end laugh. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Next episode is called The Hitchhiker. Next week, you'll drive with Mrs. Inger Stevens, who started out on what began as a vacation and ended as a desperate flight. She begins her trip next week on the Twilight Zone, and you'll be with her when she meets the Hitchhiker. We hope you'll be alongside. Good night. Like I had a guess, but I was like, that's too much. The people couldn't handle that. Which is that she's driving along, and then there's like a hitchhiker, and they're like, oh, should I pick that up? No, I shouldn't. And she keeps driving, and then she sees him again, and then she sees him again, and she's, oh no, and eventually she's so scared she crashes her car, and then she has to hitchhike.
Oh.
And it turns out it was her the whole time. But that would just, people would kill themselves. They wouldn't handle it. They just hang themselves in their living room.
Maybe I've seen this one before, but maybe the hitchhiker gets picked up by this woman.
Uh-oh.
And the hitchhiker is a traveling salesman. And we're due for a name, because it's been a while since we had a fucking really amazing classic
Big
Serling
Z?
name. Yeah, it's gonna be
Big Z Quan Breddington.
Lord Breddington! That noble British man he is!
Hot debate. Would you pick up a hitchhiker?
in like
Like with
In
my
general?
Like with my arms? Or-
Yeah, no, in general. You're driving.
Like when I cradle him at night?
that's what I pictured. I pictured him.
Cradle him? Oh, don't worry, young fella. You'll find a ride soon enough.
Well, I'm gonna be off now.
He's asleep. I'll put him back where I found him on the side of the road.
Oh, no. Don't suck your thumb. Leave it out.
That's no good for your teeth. Yeah.
Well, no, they have to see the thumb taking
Oh, right.
care.
Also, it's bad for your job, right?
Bad for your teeth, bad for your job. And of course, that job being professional hitchhiker.
That's right. A professional baby impersonator.
A man can have two jobs.
Yeah, in this America? Right, so, the twist is that she's a baby. So join us next time for what? Oh, that thing. And then VictoryProWrestling.com.
Returns April 19th to Center Reach.
God, right! Okay, maybe it is. Who knows?
April 15th
That's
to
awesome.
Center Reach.
Sure.
You check it out, you lazy jerk. VictoryProWrestling.com. Or you can look at Twitter and try to find it. And then if you buy tickets, they'll be like, hey, someone just bought tickets to the show. And they could be talking about you.
What?
So,
Have you ever read a tweet and you were like, that's about me? It could be.
it could be.
It could be.
Find out yourself on April
It could be
23rd.
Hot
On
debate.
April.
What
On
day
April.
is the show on? Who
Yeah.
knows? Hot debate.
Hot debate.
Never know.
How can we find out? Hot debate.
And you can find me on Twitter at Atomic Huge, and you can find Bigfoot Erotica
No.
in many places.
And
With
no.
such titles as, these are real titles,
Many places.
as Bigfoot Did Me From Behind and I Liked It,
Well, that's good.
Boffing Bigfoot,
That's
Boffing.
nope.
and Come for Bigfoot, the ultimate alpha male. Oh, you can find all those online, and here's just a sample of one.
No.
Yeah.
And I quote, "He smelled of animal hide, which was heady and pungent.
Oh.
Then he touched my face with the pads of his black fingers." All this and more
No.
is online,
He's
just
got
waiting for you.
pads
Pads, yeah.
like a dog.
Well,
Well, you draw your own
Well,
conclusions.
like a Bigfoot. Actually.
yeah, like a Bigfoot. Just like a Bigfoot.
www.ymt.com for some stuff about that. Intro music is Falling After Love by Killed Paris. And for using J Delta, I'm Jimmy Time. Please remember that without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts.
And the truth will come.
The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.